Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Anju Najwatilah. I'm from class 2nd A of English Education Study Program in Universitas Galuh. I made this video as a midterm assignment of speaking for academic purposes. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of data interpretation through graph and tables. In this occasion, we will explore the graph and the table and how to interpret graph and table. For the table of content, we have two parts. The first is graph and the second is table. Now we're going to part 1, is a graph. So what is graph? A graph is a diagram that exhibits a relationship between two variables. Each variable is represented by one axis on the graph. Next, we will discuss how to read and interpret line graph. To understand the graph, you must answer the following question. Number 1, what is the subject of the graph? Number 2, what do the horizontal and vertical axes represent? Number 3, what trend or pattern does the graph reveal? And last, what are the implications of the graph? What prediction can you make? Or what conclusion can you draw? As I exemplified here, this is a diagram that contains data on suicide cases in 2019, and you answer the question based on the graph. The first is the subject of the graph. You can see here number of suicides in Indonesia in 2019. The second is horizontal axis. The horizontal axis represents month with monthly interval marked, and the vertical axis is represent the number of suicides in units of 10. The trend of pattern. Suicide began to increase dramatically around January and February, but began to decline again in March. Although cases began to increase again in July, but not as much as the beginning of the month. The last is implication and prediction. If suicide cases continue to increase in Indonesia, various negative impacts can occur, both at the individual level and society as a whole. And the complete interpretation reads as follows. Based on reports in various media, suicide cases in Indonesia reached 302 cases from January to September 2019. Suicide rates were highest in January and February, with 55 cases. Meanwhile, as of September 9, 2019, there were 18 suicides. And for the part 2 is table. What is table? A table is a list that presents numerical data in columns. The data are usually arranged descending or ascending order. Same here. For reading and interpret the table, you must know the subject, the presentation order, the data, and the heading for each column. After that, you can make the conclusion from them. From example here, the subject of the data is 5 language with the most speaker. For the presentation order of the data is the data are presented in descending order, with the highest number listed at the top of the column and the lowest number listed last at the bottom of the column. And for the heading each column, the left column shows the language used, the right column shows the number of speakers of the language used. And the last is conclusion, Mandarin being the language with the most speakers, with more than 1 billion speakers, making it the most spoken language in the world. This shows the unequal distribution of language speakers in the world. In addition, three of the top five languages come from Asia, showing how much influence and population this region has in the world. Okay, our material ends up here. Thank you for your engagement and participation in this journey of interpreting graph and table. The world of data interpretation is vast and ever-evolving. Stay curious, keep exploring, and continue mastering this essential skill. Thank you and goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.